Welcome to English Premier League Pulse. If you're keen on staying on top of all the hot and latest news and stories from the Premier League, make sure you like, share, and follow us.
Yeah, definitely do that. Today, we're diving straight into, well, the fiery aftermath of Wednesday's Merseyside derby. Liverpool edged out Everton 1-0, but really, the big talking point, the thing that's got everyone buzzing, is a tackle.
Exactly. We're putting the spotlight squarely on that challenge by Everton's James Tarkowski on Liverpool's Alexis McAllister. You probably saw it. And like many, might have had a pretty strong reaction. In real time, the ref, Sam Barrett, he just gave a yellow card. Seemed fairly routine at the time, didn't it?
Well, yeah, on the surface. But here's where it gets really interesting. The PGMOL, the Professional Game Match Officials Limited, the body overseeing refs in the Prem, they've actually come out now and admitted they got this one wrong. They're saying it should have been a straight red.
Whoa, okay. So let's really break this down. Tarkowski goes in for the tackle, and look, there's no question he won the ball initially. It was a good, strong challenge in that respect.
Right.
But then came the follow-through, and this is where the whole controversy just explodes.
Precisely. The Sky Sports report we've been looking at describes it perfectly. Tarkowski's leg meeting McAllister high and with force. So even though he gets the ball first, that secondary contact, that's what's really under the microscope now.
Okay, so from the referee's view, Sam Barrett, in that split second, he saw it as reckless.
Huh.
Hence the yellow. Fine. But what about VAR? That's what it's there for, right? They took a look, didn't they?
They did, yeah. And this is maybe where some confusion comes in. VAR reviewed the footage, but they decided that the yellow card wasn't a clear and obvious error. So they didn't tell the ref to go over to the pitch side monitor for another look. Case closed, or so it seemed.
But, as we now know, not quite closed. The PGMOL stepping in after the game and basically saying, hold on a minute, our bad. This isn't just a minor quibble. They're saying the on-field decision backed by VAR was incorrect.
That's exactly right. Their revised position is clear. Even though Tarkowski did play the ball initially, the sheer force and the height of that follow-through onto McAllister, well, it met the criteria for serious foul play. So in their official view now, it was a red card offense. Simple as that.
Okay, so we've got the ref giving yellow, VAR saying no clear error, and then the PGMOL saying actually it was red. It's messy. Let's bring in some of the expert voices on this because they certainly didn't hold back, and their opinions really highlight the strength of feeling. We've got former ref Mike Dean and the usual Sky Sports crew. Carragher, Neville, Merson, even Everton legend Duncan Ferguson. Mike Dean was pretty blunt, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. No messing about. Dean called it a horrible challenge and basically said he couldn't believe Tarkowski stayed on. His quote was, "He should have gone to the screen and he should be off. It is a horrible challenge. It was a stonewall red card." Pretty clear where he stood.
Stonewall red. Strong words from an ex-referee. And Jamie Carragher. Knowing Kara, I imagine he had a firm stance too.
He did, yeah. Very firm. Carragher was just unequivocal, he said. Yes, see, that has to. It's a shocking tackle. We know it should be a red card. It's not even up for debate. So, zero ambiguity from him.
Not even up for debate.
Yeah.
Okay. And Gary Neville. Sometimes a bit more measured, perhaps. What was his take?
Neville agreed on the severity. He called it a horrible tackle, too, and specifically pointed out the follow-through, saying he did not need to follow through like that. Short, sharp, critical.
Right. That unnecessary force being the key.
Yeah.
Then there's Paul Merson. Merce is never one to mince his words, is he? Sounds like he was particularly fired up about this one.
Fired up is putting it mildly. Merson went in, especially on the VAR officials. He said, and this is quite a quote, "It's unbelievable. How has he not been sent off? It gets worse. It's a shocker. For the people up in VAR, they should be ashamed of themselves this morning. They should be really ashamed. It was one of the worst ones I have seen by VAR that somebody has got away with. Every time I see it, I want to look away. It's a terrible tackle."
Wow. Ashamed of themselves. It's incredibly strong criticism, particularly aimed at the VAR process failing.
Yeah, a real condemnation.
And perhaps most tellingly, even Duncan Ferguson, an Everton legend, someone you might expect to maybe find a reason to defend it, he couldn't.
That's a really crucial point, actually. Ferguson put club loyalty aside completely. He stated very clearly, "There is no argument. It's a straight red. It's a leg breaker. He should have given the red on the pitch." When Big Dunk says that, it really tells you something about how bad the tackle looked to experienced eyes.
Yeah, leg breaker. That's damning. So it really seems like an overwhelming consensus amongst these high-profile experts that it was a definite red card. What about from the Liverpool camp? What did their head coach, Arne Slot, have to say about it all?
Well, Slot, speaking before their Fulham game, he was maybe a bit more diplomatic, as you'd expect from a manager, but he did acknowledge the PGMOL's admission. He said something like, it's always good that if they think they've made a mistake, that they acknowledge that, which is fair enough.
Right.
He also pointed out, interestingly, how many pundits, not just Liverpool-affiliated ones, were calling it a clear red.
And he made a sort of broader point, too, didn't he, about mistakes in the game generally?
He did, yeah. Slaw basically said, look, mistakes happen in football, players make them, coaches make them, and yes, referees make them too. His main hope, which I think most fans probably share, is just that these errors don't end up unfairly skewing the league table come the end of the season. A pretty measured response, all things considered.
So wrapping this up then, the key takeaway seems pretty undeniable. There's a very, very strong consensus from pundits, former players, former referees, and even the refereeing body itself, the PGMOL, that James Tarkowski's tackle on Alexa McAllister, should have been a red card.
Yep. Despite only getting a yellow on the pitch, and despite VAR not stepping in to upgrade it.
Exactly. And, this whole incident, it just throws up those big questions again about VAR, doesn't it? Its role, its effectiveness, especially in these really subjective high-speed moments.
Mm-hmm. It really does.
Absolutely. And maybe here's a final thought to leave people with. When the PGMOL itself comes out and admits a clear error like this, especially after VAR review, what does that really tell us about the immense pressure officials are under in these massive derby games? And maybe more importantly, how do these acknowledged mistakes affect confidence, fan confidence in the whole system?
Mm-hmm.
The consistent application of rules, the integrity of the game itself, it's definitely something to